Marcus walked slowly down the crowded streets, holding his daughter Lila's small hand. The city was noisy, full of flashing signs and cars humming past. Humans shared the streets with alien visitors from other worlds. Some of them were tall, glowing, or had shapes humans could not easily understand. Marcus had seen them before, but never really got used to it. Lila skipped lightly beside him, her small backpack bouncing against her back. She was a fragile child, with a thin frame and wide, curious eyes. Some kids at school teased her because she was smaller than the others, but she never let it show. Marcus always worried. He wanted to keep her safe from bullies, from accidents, from everything. "Daddy, do you think we'll see the skylights tonight?" Lila asked, looking up at the early evening sky. The first stars were just starting to appear. "Maybe, Lila," Marcus said, smiling. "If we're lucky." As they turned a corner into a quieter street, a group of older kids suddenly stepped out from behind a building. Their faces were twisted in mischief, and their voices were loud. "Hey, shrimp! Where do you think you're going?" one of the boys sneered. Lila froze. She didn't answer. Marcus stepped closer to her, his heart racing. The bullies surrounded. Them, laughing. Marcus clenched his fists, ready to push them away, but he knew there were too many. They could hurt Lila before he even had a chance. Then, without warning, a figure appeared from the shadows. A tall woman stepped into the street, and everything seemed to slow down. She was not human. Her skin shimmered with a soft, golden light. Her eyes were bright and deep, like liquid crystal. Her movements were smooth and calm, almost floating over the ground. "Leave her alone," she said. Her voice was musical, but it carried a weight that made the bullies freeze. The kids laughed nervously. "Who are you supposed to be? Some kind of alien freak?" one of them jeered. The woman's eyes glowed faintly. She lifted her hand, and an invisible force pushed the bullies back a few steps. They stumbled and fell, wide-eyed with fear. A strange, low hum filled the street, and the lights of nearby buildings flickered as if reacting to her presence. Marcus could only stare. Who are you?" he whispered, too shocked to move. The woman turned to Lila, smiling softly. "You are safe now," she said. Then, she reached into a small pouch at her side and pulled out a glowing charm. It pulsed gently, like a heartbeat. She handed it to Lila. "Take this," she said. "It will help you when you feel afraid." Lila hesitated for a moment, then took the charm carefully. The glow seemed to warm her hand. She looked up at the woman, her eyes shining with wonder. "Thank you," Lila said quietly. The alien woman nodded. "Be brave, little one. You have more strength than you know." Before Marcus could say anything else, the woman turned and walked into an alley. Her figure shimmered and vanished as if she had melted into the shadows. The hum faded and the street returned to normal. The bullies were gone, running away as fast as they could. Marcus dropped to his knees and hugged Lila tightly. "Are you okay?" he asked. "I'm fine, Daddy," Lila said, holding the charm tightly in her small hand. Her voice had a quiet, strength he had not heard before. Marcus looked around. The street was empty except for them. No one else had seen her. He could not explain what had just happened. His mind was racing with questions. Who was that alien woman? Why did she help Lila? And what was this glowing charm? On the way home, Lila stayed unusually quiet, staring at the charm. Marcus noticed her grip was firm, almost protective. "Daddy, do you think she will come back?" Lila asked softly. "I don't know, Lila," Marcus said. He wanted to sound calm, but his heart was still pounding. "I don't know, but maybe she will." That night, Marcus checked on Lila several times as she slept. The charm rested on her bedside table, glowing faintly in the darkness. He could not sleep, thinking about the woman and what had happened. Something about her felt important. The next morning, Lila woke up with a bright smile. She held the charm in her hand, looking at it like it was a treasure. "Daddy, I had a dream," she said. "The lady was there, and she told me I could be strong, really strong." Marcus smiled weakly. He didn't know what to say. "Well, that's good, Lila. Really good." Over the next few days, Marcus noticed small changes in Lila. She walked taller, spoke more confidently, and seemed to notice things others did not. She could climb the playground equipment faster than before, and even when she fell, she seemed to catch herself almost magically. Marcus tried to brush it off as coincidence, but deep down, he knew it had something to do with the alien woman and the charm. One evening, as they walked back from school, Lila stopped suddenly. "Daddy, I think she's near," she whispered, holding the charm tightly. Marcus followed her gaze, but he saw nothing unusual. The street was empty. "Maybe it's just your imagination," Marcus said, trying to sound normal. But Lila shook her head. "No, I feel it. She's watching." Marcus felt a chill run down his spine. He had no idea what the future would bring. But he knew one thing: something extraordinary had entered their lives, and it would not leave them the same. That night, Marcus stayed awake long after Lila slept. He stared at the glowing charm and wondered what kind of world they were stepping into, one where humans were no longer alone, and somewhere, far away in the city shadows, the alien woman watched over them, silent but vigilant, knowing her work had only just begun. The next morning, Lila woke up early, clutching the glowing charm in her small hands. The soft light of dawn seeped through the curtains, illuminating her room. She stared at it as if it held answers to questions she didn't yet know how to ask. "Lila," Marcus called from the kitchen. "Breakfast is ready." "Coming!" she shouted, slipping the charm into her pocket. During breakfast, Lila seemed different, braver, more alert. She noticed small details that usually escaped her. The way the toaster's handle reflected sunlight, the faint pattern of cracks on the kitchen wall, the way a bird perched perfectly on the windowsill. Marcus noticed it too. She seemed sharper. "Lila, did you sleep well?" Marcus asked, trying to keep his voice calm. "Yes, Daddy," she said, smiling. But there was a sparkle in her eyes that told him something had changed inside her. After school, Lila didn't want to go straight home. Instead, she wandered to a quiet alley, the one where the alien woman had first appeared. She pressed the charm in her hand and whispered, "Are you there?" Nothing happened at first. The alley was empty and silent. But then, a soft shimmer appeared at the far end. Lila's heart raced. She had seen it before, the same glow that had surrounded the alien woman. Alira appeared slowly, stepping out of the light. "Hello, Lila," she said, her voice calm and gentle. Lila gasped. "You came back," Elira smiled. "I promised I would watch over you. I am keeping my word." Lila held up the charm. "It glows when you're near." "Yes," Elira said. "It responds to your courage and your heart. You are stronger than you think, Lila." "Stronger?" Layla asked, tilting her head. Elira knelt down to Layla's level. "Yes, you have hidden potential. Things you don't yet understand about yourself. That is why I am here, to help you grow, to protect you, and to guide you when needed." Lila felt a rush of excitement. "Really? Like a superhero?" "Perhaps," Elira said with a faint smile. "But the greatest strength is in helping others, not in fighting alone." Lila beamed. For the first time, she didn't feel small or fragile. She felt important. Over the next few days, Lila visited the alley every chance she got. She and Elira talked for hours. Elira taught her simple exercises to test her abilities. Lila discovered she could jump higher than before, move faster, and notice small details that others overlooked. Sometimes the charm pulsed in response to her courage, glowing brighter with every small success. Marcus noticed the changes almost immediately. Lila came home from school one day, her cheeks flushed with excitement, talking about things she had seen and done. "Daddy, I climbed the tallest slide today, and I caught a kitten before it fell." Marcus smiled, but worry lingered in his eyes. "That's great, Lila, but remember you must be careful. Not everyone will understand what's happening to you." "I know, Daddy," she said, her voice confident. "But I feel strong. I can help people just like her." Marcus didn't know what to say. He was proud, yes, but also nervous. He had never dealt with powers or aliens before. The city seemed bigger, more dangerous, and yet full of possibilities he could not imagine. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the city skyline, Lila and Elira sat on a rooftop. Lila held the charm and asked, "Do you think other kids could have this too?" Elira shook her head gently. "Not yet. Humans have the potential, but it must awaken naturally. You are the first I have chosen. That is why you are special." Lila hugged her knees. "I don't want to be alone." "You are not alone," Elira said softly. "I will always be near. And one day, you will understand your full strength. You will protect others and make a difference. You just need time and courage." Over the next week, Lila tested her abilities quietly. She moved faster to help classmates who dropped their books, noticed small dangers before anyone else, and even helped stray animals find food. Marcus watched in amazement as his fragile little daughter became more capable and confident each day. But change was not always easy. One afternoon, Lila tripped while running through the park. She fell hard, scraping her knee. She cried, holding her charm tightly. Elira appeared immediately, her glowing form comforting and protective. "You are learning," she said. "Falling is part of growing. Courage is not never being afraid. It is rising even when you are scared." Lila nodded, wiping her tears. "I understand." That night, Marcus tucked her into bed. "You've been very brave lately," he said. Lila hugged the charm and smiled. "I have a teacher, Daddy. She says I can be strong and I want to be." Marcus kissed her forehead, feeling a mixture of pride and worry. "I'm proud of you, Lila. Just promise me you'll be careful." "I will, Daddy," Lila said softly, her eyes closing. "I promise." As Marcus left the room, he looked at the glowing charm on her nightstand. It pulsed gently, almost like a heartbeat. He wondered how far this new life would go. He could see that Lila was changing, becoming someone extraordinary, and the world around them was about to shift in ways he could not imagine. In the city streets, the alien woman watched silently from a distance. Her eyes glowed faintly, keeping an invisible protective circle around Lila. She knew the journey had just begun. The bond between human and alien had formed, and it would grow stronger. Something had awakened inside Lila, a courage and strength that no one could take away. And somewhere deep in her heart, she knew she was no longer just a fragile little girl. She was becoming a force for good, guided by a mysterious alien who had entered her life in the strangest and most magical way. The city continued to hum with life, unaware that a small human girl with her alien charm was slowly learning to change the world. The city was quieter than usual that afternoon. Marcus had gone to work, leaving Lila under her usual careful watch, though she often wandered the streets in search of adventure. Her glowing charm rested in her pocket, pulsing faintly as if it knew something was about to happen. Lila skipped down the familiar alleyways, her eyes scanning every corner. She liked the quiet here. It reminded her of the moment she had first met Elira. She felt safe, almost. Suddenly, a shout echoed through the streets. "Hey, come here, little ones!" Lila's heart jumped. She turned a corner and saw a group of rough-looking humans, older teens, far bigger than her. They were dragging 3 smaller kids down a side street. Lila's instincts screamed at her. She could not let them get hurt. Clutching her charm tightly, she ran forward. The world around her seemed to sharpen. She noticed every detail: the uneven cracks in the pavement, a loose brick the bullies might trip on, the way the shadows fell across the wall. Her small legs moved faster than they had ever done before. "Hey! Stop!" she shouted, but the bullies didn't even look at her. The children's cries made her heart ache. Lila felt something rise inside her, a strange warmth from the charm. In her pocket. Her courage, her fear, her determination, it all seemed to mix into a new energy. She took a deep breath and focused. In a sudden burst, she leaped forward. The bullies turned just in time to see her land lightly on her feet. She was faster, stronger, more confident than before. One of the older teens lunged at her, but she dodged easily, stepping to the side with a grace she didn't know she had. "Leave them alone!" she shouted, her voice stronger than she expected. The bullies laughed nervously at first, but then something changed. Lila didn't just stand there. She moved, calculated, precise. She tripped one bully with a simple sweep of her leg, grabbed another's wrist, and twisted it gently but firmly, making him stumble. The youngest bully froze, his eyes wide with fear. The 3 smaller children huddled together, staring at Lila in awe. She smiled at them, offering her hand to help them up. "Come on," she said. "You're safe now." Lila's movements were instinctive, guided by something she couldn't fully explain. She remembered Elira's words. "Courage isn't the bow. Absence of fear, it's acting despite it." That thought gave her strength. The bullies, now wary and unsure, backed away. One muttered something under his breath and ran. The other 2 followed. Lila didn't chase them. She didn't need to. The energy she felt, the power that came from the charm, was enough to make them leave without a fight. Once the children were safe, they all stared at her. Who are you?" one whispered. "I'm Lila," she said simply, her voice calm. "Just Lila." The children nodded, still amazed. They ran off to find their parents, leaving Lila standing alone. She felt a mix of excitement and fear. She had done something incredible, but she knew it was only the beginning. At that moment, a familiar shimmer appeared behind her. Elira stepped from the shadows, her luminous form glowing softly in the dim light. "Well done, Lila," she said, her voice calm but proud. Lila spun around, her eyes wide. "Elira, did you see that?" "I did," Elira replied. "You acted with courage and intelligence. You protected them, and you did not give in to fear. That is the first step to becoming someone extraordinary, but I don't know how I did it," Lila admitted, glancing at the charm. Elira knelt down to her level. "It is not just the charm, it is you. The charm only helps you focus what is already inside. You have a potential that others rarely find. I am here to guide you, but your courage, your determination, they come from you." Lila hugged the charm tightly. "I want to learn more. I want to be strong like you." Elira smiled faintly. "And you will, little one. But strength is more than fighting. You must also learn patience, observation, and understanding. These qualities will protect you more than any power alone." For the next few days, Lila practiced in secret. She ran through the parks, climbed walls, and tried to move quietly. Each time the charm glowed, she felt a little more confident. Her small frame no longer limited her. She realized she could do things she never imagined. Meanwhile, Marcus began to notice changes in her. She came home from school with new confidence, her small hands steady and her steps firm. She helped him around the house, noticing things he overlooked. She even saved a bird trapped in a bush, lifting it gently and releasing it safely. Lila, Marcus said one evening, you're changing. I see it. But you have to be careful. Not everyone will understand. I know, Daddy, she said softly, holding the charm. But I feel like I can do more, like I have to help people. He nodded slowly, proud but worried. Just promise me you won't get hurt. I promise, she whispered. And deep inside, she knew she meant it, but she also knew she could no longer be the fragile little girl she had been. One night, as Lila held the glowing charm and stared at the stars, she felt a gentle presence behind her. Aelira appeared, her luminous eyes kind and steady. You have passed your first test, she said. But the world is bigger, Lila. There are threats that you cannot yet see, dangers that will challenge everything you know. You must be ready. I will be ready, Lila said, determination shining in her eyes. I want to help, Aelira. I want to protect people. Aelira nodded. And one day, you will. But for now, continue to learn, continue to grow. Your journey has only begun. As Aelira disappeared into the shadows, Lila felt a quiet thrill. She had faced danger and helped others. She had discovered strength she didn't know she had. And she knew that with guidance, she could become something more than anyone imagined. A small human with courage that could change the world. The city streets were still, but Lila's heart was racing. Something had awakened inside her. Something powerful and bright. And somewhere in the hidden corners of the city, Aelira watched, knowing that her tiny human student was already beginning to rise. Marcus had always known the city was full of mysteries, but nothing could have prepared him for what he discovered that evening. Lila had slipped out again, drawn to the alley where she often met Aelira. Concerned, Marcus followed her quietly, keeping a safe distance. The city streets were dim and quiet. Neon signs flickered, and the distant hum of hover cars filled the air. Marcus's heart raced as he followed Lila down the familiar path. She moved confidently, the glowing charm in her pocket pulsing faintly. Suddenly, she stopped at a seemingly ordinary wall. Lila pressed her hand against it, and the surface shimmered. Marcus blinked in disbelief. The wall melted into light, revealing a hidden passageway that seemed to pulse with energy. He took a deep breath and stepped inside, careful not to make a sound. The passage led to a large room filled with soft, glowing lights and strange machinery. It was unlike anything Marcus had ever seen. The walls seemed alive, moving with flowing patterns of color. Advanced alien technology hummed gently in the background. And there she was. Aelira stood in the center of the room, her luminous form calm and steady. Lila, she said softly, come forward. Lila obeyed, her small feet stepping carefully. On the glowing floor, she looked back at Marcus. Daddy, she whispered. Marcus swallowed hard and stepped into the room. Aelira's eyes turned toward him. Do not be afraid, she said. You are not in danger here, but there are truths you must know. Marcus's mind raced. Who? What are you? He asked. Aelira's form shimmered gently. I am Aelira, a member of an interstellar order tasked with guiding and protecting certain humans with unique potential. Your daughter is one of them. Marcus's heart skipped a beat. Potential? What do you mean? She possesses abilities that are rare even among humans, Aelira explained. Abilities that can grow with guidance, courage, intelligence, agility. But more than that, she has the capacity to sense danger, act decisively, and protect others. I am here to help awaken that potential. Lila's eyes widened. I can do that? Yes, Aelira said. But it must be nurtured. Your daughter's potential is extraordinary, and without guidance, it could be wasted. Or worse, misused by those who wish to harm humans. Marcus ran his hands through his hair. I don't understand. Why her? Why my daughter? Elira's expression softened. She is small, fragile in appearance, but her heart is strong. That strength, combined with her natural human qualities, makes her an ideal guardian. Humans have hidden potential. You would be amazed at what your kind can achieve with the right guidance and courage. Marcus shook his head, trying to process it all. Are you saying she's special? Yes, Elira said firmly. Special enough that others will seek to exploit her abilities. That is why I protect her. And that is why you must understand the importance of her training. Lila clutched the glowing charm. Does that mean I have to fight? Not fight? Alone, Elira said. Strength is not only in combat, it is in understanding, protecting, and making choices that help others. Your journey will include challenges, yes, but each one will teach you how to grow. You are not meant to be fragile, Lila. You are meant to rise. Marcus looked at his daughter, who nodded bravely. I want to be strong, Lila said quietly. Elira smiled. And you will be, but first you must learn. Come, I will show you something. She motioned toward a large holographic map hovering in the center of the room. It showed the Earth, but also strange points of light moving across the planet. Locations of unusual activity. Some human, some alien. These are places where your abilities might be needed, Elira explained. Humans are not alone in the universe. Some seek peace, others seek control. Your skills, your courage, and your heart will help protect humanity from dangers they cannot yet see. Marcus's stomach tightened. Dangers? Like what? Elira's eyes glowed faintly. There are rogue factions from other worlds who see humans with potential as tools. They wish to capture, manipulate, or control them. Lila could be a target. But she is not alone. You, as her parent, and I, as her guide, will help protect her. Marcus took a deep breath. I don't know if I can handle this. I just want her to be safe. You will handle it, Elira said softly. Humans are resilient. Even when they doubt themselves, they rise to challenges. Your love and guidance are part of what makes her strong. That bond between parent and child is powerful, more than many realize. Lila looked up at Marcus. Daddy, we can do this together. I'm not afraid if you're with me. Marcus knelt beside her, holding her small hand. I'll do my best, Lila. I promise I'll be there. Elira stepped back, her glow radiating warmth. Very well. The next step is training, understanding, and preparation. You will not face it all at once. But know this. Your daughter is changing, and this change is necessary for the safety of humanity. She will learn to protect, to act, and to grow stronger every day. Lila's eyes sparkled with determination. I want to start now. Patience, Elira said, smiling. Your journey has only begun. Each day will bring lessons, and each challenge will help you grow. But for tonight, rest. The world is waiting for your courage, little one, and soon you will show it to everyone. Marcus and Lila left the hidden enclave slowly. Marcus held her hand tightly, feeling the pulse of the charm through her pocket. He knew the city outside looked the same, but it was not. Their lives had changed forever. Lila was no longer just his fragile little girl. She was becoming someone extraordinary. As they walked home, Marcus looked at the glowing charm and whispered, I don't understand it all yet, but we'll face it together. And somewhere in the city, Elira watched silently. She knew that the first seeds had been planted. Lila's potential had awakened, and the future, uncertain and dangerous, would test them all. But she also knew that humans, with courage and heart, could rise beyond expectation. And that was exactly what this small, fragile little girl was beginning to do. The night was calm, but a quiet tension lingered in the air. The city was full of possibilities, both good and bad, and Lila, guided by an alien mentor and protected by her father, was about to discover what it truly meant to grow beyond human limits. The city was alive with neon lights and humming hover cars as night fell. People moved quickly along the streets, unaware of the danger approaching. Marcus had just finished his shift and was walking home when he noticed Lila running ahead. Her charm pulsed faintly, and her small frame moved with unusual speed and confidence. "Lila, wait!" Marcus called, but she kept moving, her eyes focused on something he could not see. Suddenly, the air vibrated with a strange hum. A flicker of light appeared above the street, a hovering craft, sleek and dark, unlike anything Marcus had ever seen. People screamed and scattered as several tall, armored figures descended from the ship. Their skin shimmered like metal, and their eyes glowed a cold blue. They moved with precision and purpose, clearly not friendly. Lila froze, gripping her charm. "Daddy," she whispered, her voice calm but alert. Elira appeared beside her, her glowing form bright against the dark street. "This is what I warned you about," she said softly. "Stay close to me, Lila." The armored aliens advanced, quickly scanning the crowd. Their focus seemed to settle on Lila immediately. Marcus felt a chill run down his spine. Why are they looking at her?" he asked, panic rising in his chest. "They know," Elira said. "They can sense her potential. She must defend herself, but she is not alone. I will guide her, but she must act." Lila took a deep breath, holding the charm tightly. She remembered Elira's lessons. Courage is acting despite fear. Her legs moved almost automatically, dodging debris and weaving through startled civilians. The charm glowed brightly, amplifying her strength and speed. One of the armored figures lunged at her. Lila sidestepped with a sudden burst of speed, the world around her seeming to slow. She grabbed a nearby trash can and used it to block another attack. She wasn't just running, she was thinking, calculating, protecting the people around her while moving toward safety. Marcus watched in awe. His fragile little daughter was no longer fragile at all. She moved with precision, her small frame carrying power he could hardly comprehend. Elira's voice echoed softly in Lila's mind. Focus, protect, move with purpose. Lila obeyed instinctively. She dashed toward a group of children trapped near a collapsing wall. With surprising strength, she lifted debris just enough for them to escape, guiding them to safety. Her charm pulsed with energy, as if acknowledging her bravery. The armored aliens advanced, but Lila's instincts and training kept her ahead. She leapt over obstacles, dodged attacks, and even managed to knock one of the intruders off balance using a simple, clever maneuver she didn't even realize she had learned from Elira. Marcus tried to intervene, but Elira held out a hand. "Stay back," she said firmly. "Your daughter must face this now. Trust her strength." Fear and pride warred inside him. "Lila!" he shouted, but she only glanced back briefly, her eyes steady. "I'm okay, Daddy," she called, her voice confident. Minutes felt like hours. Lila darted through the chaos, her courage and quick thinking saving several people along the way. The charm glowed brighter and brighter, its light forming a soft, protective aura around her. Even the armored aliens seemed to hesitate, sensing the strange energy surrounding her. Finally, she reached the center of the street, where the largest alien was waiting. It lunged at her, but Lila anticipated the move. With a swift, graceful motion, she sidestepped and used her momentum to throw the attacker off balance. The alien stumbled, but quickly regained composure. Elira stepped forward, her presence radiating power. "Lila, now," she said. Lila focused on the glowing charm, feeling its warmth and energy flow through her. She extended her hands, and a pulse of light shot out, forcing the remaining aliens back. They hissed in surprise, shielded by the force of her courage and newfound strength. The crowd cheered, amazed and frightened by the small girl standing defiantly against the alien attackers. Lila's eyes shone with determination, but she also felt exhaustion creeping in. She was still just a child after all. One alien, the leader, raised a hand and emitted a strange signal. Marcus realized they were retreating, for now. The aliens disappeared as quickly as they had arrived, leaving the city streets shaken but unharmed. Lila collapsed into Marcus's arms, breathing heavily. I did it," she whispered, holding the charm. Marcus hugged her tightly, tears in his eyes. "Yes, Lila, you did it. You were amazing." Lyra appeared beside them, her glow softening. "You passed your first real test," she said. "You protected the innocent and acted with courage, but remember, this is only the beginning. There will be more challenges, and they will be more dangerous. You must continue to grow." Lila nodded, still holding the charm. I can do it, Lyra. I want to protect people. I want to be strong." "And you will," Lyra said. "You have the heart and courage of a true guardian. But remember, strength is not only in fighting. It is in understanding, protecting, and making the right choices." Marcus looked at his daughter, finally seeing her as more than fragile. She was brave, clever, and capable. He knew there would be dangers ahead, but he also knew she could face them, because she was no longer just his little girl. She was a protector. The city began to settle after the chaos. People whispered about the small girl who had saved others, about the glowing charm and the mysterious alien who had guided her. Marcus held Lila's hand tightly, proud and in awe. Lila looked at the stars, the charm glowing softly in her pocket. She felt a deep sense of purpose, a desire to continue learning and growing. The night had been frightening, but she had survived and helped others. She had proven that even someone small could make a difference. Lyra's form shimmered in the distance, watching. She knew the young human had passed her first true challenge, but this was only the start of a long journey. Lila's courage, determination, and growing power would soon be tested again, perhaps in ways no one could yet imagine. For now, though, Lila smiled, exhausted but proud. She had faced danger and risen to the challenge. She had discovered that she was stronger than she had ever dreamed, and that she had the heart to protect those who could not protect themselves. The city was safe tonight, thanks to a fragile little girl who had changed, guided by a mysterious alien and supported by her father. And somewhere in the shadows, Lyra watched, knowing that the true test was still ahead.